Alright, what's up guys? In today's video, we're going to take a look at what is the current best LMG to use right now in the new season of Warzone. We're going to take a look at their overall recoil, mobility, time to kill, range, and velocity. Compare the 5 guns head to head. So if you guys do enjoy the content, you want to see more in-depth videos like this, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button down below. So the first thing obviously to take a look at is going to be the best class setup. On the screen, you guys will see the class setups for all the guns. Obviously, the Cold War guns are all built the same. Task Force barrel gives us the best range, velocity, and recoil, like I said. The one thing with the PK obviously has the snatch grip, which is unique to it, but monolithic, longest long barrel, tac laser, VLK is going to be the base setup for these two Modern Warfare guns. And the difference with the Bruin is also has a unique attachment, which is a 60-round mag. Both those guns' unique attachment makes them 100% better. What we're going to take a look at first is the range and the velocity and how those new barrels help improve the range of these Cold War guns. Alright, so what you guys can see on the screen is the range, the fire rate, and the velocity of all 5 weapons. In a couple of my previous videos, a lot of players were talking about how the fire rate was important to include. And as far as the overall range, like I said, with that Stoner and RPD getting a massive improvement, about 60 meters of range, which is incredible. The MG82 is only 40 meters, which is pretty average, but is okay for an LMG. The PK about 50 meters is pretty good for an LMG. And the Bruin is technically 36 meters is the one headshot TTK. Technically it's infinite because the damage range, the damage never drops off. The 36 meters is just where the one headshot time to kill drops off. So range wise, they're all pretty good, pretty okay. And then the velocity wise, they're all about equal, with the PKM being on the low end. So the velocity might affect the PKM in the longer ranges. The one thing I did want to cover first is the overall recoil, because as I said, with these new barrels for the Cold War guns, their overall recoil is significantly improved. 15% better horizontal and 15% less vertical. When stacked with the field agent, that also improves horizontal. These guns don't miss. You guys will see on the screen in the very far left is the RPD. Gun has no recoil. Very similar to that of the FAR and the Crick reason is popular. If you pull down with your thumbstick, the gun will literally have no recoil. Next to it will be the MG82. You guys can see it's a perfectly straight line. This gun might kick fast and it might kick a lot, but it doesn't miss. The gun does not move left to right, which like you guys can see in the middle is the PK and the Bruin. The gun has perfect stabilization, which in my opinion makes it an easy top 2 candidate. The PKM and the Bruin in the middle, nowhere near as stable. These guns don't compete in the accuracy category, in my opinion, when it's stacked up against those other 3 Cold War guns. And you guys can see the Stoner on the right. The recoil has been significantly reduced by about 20% with the field agent and the barrel, which 100% helps. And you can see it's almost perfectly stable. So obviously RPD would be number 1. In my opinion, the MG82, because it doesn't miss, would be the second most accurate. And the Stoner would be third because the gun is just really accurate. So the Modern Warfare guns definitely got outclassed now with this new update as far as the overall recoil. So the one thing I want to take a look at next is going to be the overall mobility of each gun. They're all about equal. The one biggest improvement, which you guys will see here, is the RPD has the fastest ADS and has AR level movement speed at 95%, which is excellent. The one biggest thing with the Bruin is it has the fastest strafe speed and the significantly fastest reload, which is why the 60-round mag does help it, and does not have an open bolt delay. So the one negative of all LMGs on why they are not as popular is when you press your trigger or click your mouse, there's a 4-frame or 67 millisecond delay on how your gun actually, from the trigger being clicked to how long it actually takes to shoot. Take a gun that kills in 200 milliseconds. If you're point blank, it's going to be 267 because there's an absolute big delay on the actual time the gun takes to shoot, which is why LMGs are currently not popular. Obviously, the MG82 has an extremely fast time to kill. We're going to basically go through and break down all the time to kills, include them without the open bolt delay because that kind of confuses it. Majority of LMGs are used from medium to long range. Therefore, the open bolt delay doesn't really affect the overall time to kill because it doesn't factor in. Like if you're in a one-on-one gunfight, the open bolt delay will make you lose 99% of the time. But if you're shooting players at a farther distance, which in my opinion, probably 80% of LMG fights are, the open bolt delay doesn't have an effect in it. So the last and obviously most important final thing to take a look at is going to be the overall time to kill. As I said, this is without the open bolt delay just to kind of make it easier for the numbers to make sense. The one biggest factor you'll see and why the MG82 is probably the most broken, overpowered weapon it kills in 450 milliseconds. The old AMAX was 476 before the 3 nerfs, so to have a faster time to kill than the previous #1 rated weapon, clearly this is going to be the new king. It has about the same base range as the AMAX with a little bit longer and a faster time to kill than the AMAX, which is obviously the most popular weapon for how many seasons and months now. So TTK wise, this gun's incredible, and even after you take a look at where it drops off, it still kills in 516 milliseconds beyond 40 meters, which is god. So TTK wise, beyond 40 to 50 meters, no gun is going to compete with this, and that's why it needs to be nerfed, and that's why it is the #1 best weapon to use right now in Season 4. For taking the MG82 out, which will be nerfed pretty soon, obviously it's the best LMG time to kill wise. Or take a look at that stoner. It kills in 500 milliseconds all the way out to 60 meters. The PKM is a close second. Then the RPD and Bruin are about equal. The one biggest factor TTK-wise about the RPD that a lot of people don't know, it has the same damage and the same fire rate as the Krig. It's just the Krig in LMG form, which is weird. So 652 fire rate rounds per minute, and then damage-wise, obviously exact same. It's 644 and 736, which is what the Krig is. The one biggest factor, in my opinion, and what makes these LMGs possibly meta after a lot of the nerfs they plan to do in the next few months, is their headshot multipliers. A lot of these guns require one headshot to lower their time to kill. The stoner is one headshot in the second range. The PKM is one headshot in both ranges. The Bruin is one headshot in the base range, and then the RPD is one headshot in either base range. So up to 60 meters, one headshot lowers it, and then beyond 60 meters, one headshot lowers it. So when you actually include those headshots and then take a look at the chart now, you can see it is much, much more competitive. 550 is like a really, really fast time to kill, and anywhere from 550 to like 650 is where you're now getting to average. Every single one of these guns with one headshot up to the base range is faster than 550 milliseconds, which is 100% what makes them really, really good. Obviously, with an LMG, you're not going to be using it in 20, 30 meters because you're going to get outgunned by SMGs and ARs with the mobility of them. But like I said, with that stoner, with that PKM, one headshot, 500 millisecond time to kill out to 50, 60 meters is godly. And then obviously, like I said, with that RPD, it's going to go down to like 550, I think, is all the way up to 60 meters again. And like I said, the gun has no recoil. It has definitely a practical time to kill. So you basically go through and look at all the guns and kind of rank them based on what they're good at and what they do well. Obviously, MG82 is #1. There's no gun that shreds as fast as it. No gun's going to kill as fast as it. Accuracy-wise, it's still excellent. It has perfect stabilization, probably the most perfect stabilization I've ever seen on a gun in all the months of testing I've done. So it's clearly #1. The stoner is easily #2. 60 meters of base range is excellent. 500 millisecond time to kill is excellent. And then even in the second range, where it's about 667, which drops to average, it only takes one headshot beyond 60 meters to lower it down to under 600, which is excellent. So it has a really good range, and TTK wise is very, very competitive, if not top tier. And then obviously, like I said, with the new barrel improving it, the recoil is much better. So stoner is definitely #2. The one biggest factor for me in the RPD, in previous season, this gun had absolutely no use in the meta. Now with the improved barrel, you have the most accurate gun with the best range, with AR level mobility, and it requires one headshot to lower your time to kill in the base range and one headshot in the second range, which is 100% going to make it an excellent weapon. It might not kill as fast in its overall base time to kills, but with only needing one headshot in the base range and one headshot in the second range, your time to kill is lower, which definitely, in my opinion, makes it competitive and might make it a top tier meta if you can use the LMG. Obviously, PKM used to be the LMG king. Has a good range, good TTK, obviously good headshot multipliers, but the recoil is not as good, and the mobility is extreme low end for an LMG. Then obviously Bruin is going to be the worst LMG in my opinion. It might have the fastest reload, but it's pretty much average everywhere, and TTK wise is obviously on the extreme low end, and obviously the accuracy is not as good because it pulls up and to the left. And obviously, you either trade out good mobility for good accuracy or good accuracy for low mobility if you want to use the Commando versus 60. So that's kind of a big negative about it, is the best class setup is either good in one thing and bad in the other, or good in accuracy and bad in mobility. So definitely would be the worst LMG, but like I said, for me, the stoner and the RPD are definitely, in my opinion, going to be ranked more in my top 20 guns now after the MG82 gets nerfed. But like I said, MG82 is 100% meta. You guys 100% need to be using it. And obviously, like I said, the best class ups you guys already know. So hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. Hopefully you guys do hit the subscribe button down below if you do enjoy the content. Make sure you hit the notification bell if you want to know every time I upload. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll see you.